Oh man, it's frozen again.
No, it hasn't. No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
you.
Are you ready?
Welcome to the Before the Free Count podcast. In the red corner, it's Charlie Quick, and in the blue corner, it's Callum Hunt. And so, let the show begin.
Welcome back yet again to another podcast because this time it is before the free count. I am back yet again with Callum. You can see us, we are here. And you can probably tell by the sunglasses, it's hot. And it's hot because not because we visited the moon. No, it's hot because it's SummerSlam weekend.
I like the way you say hot.
Hot, hot. Where you been, boy? The moon? Yeah. Right. As always, let's crack open a brewski and get in to another chat. How we
I'm
all
joking.
doing, Callum?
Very well. Very
Yeah,
well. I've just got back from playing football. I'm a little bit exhausted, but I keep playing because it's good for the fitness.
it gets the girls.
It does. It does.
Fair
I'm
enough.
wearing I'm wearing a Germany top. Very anti.
Don't
Very
point it out. Now you've
very
offended
very
audience
CM
members.
very CM Punk of me.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah. What was it he did when that is CM Punk was at Clash of the Castle? Oh, that was it when Cardiff got knocked out straight away in the Euros, and it
Oh,
literally happened that day, and it was
oh
with
wait.
Belgium, and he sat down and he went, "Guten Tag." Oh wait, wrong country. And it was just
Yeah, and even in Scotland, they were playing. I think where Rangers are like the team, and he wore a Celtic shirt.
that was
For the
it. That was
50th.
it. That was brilliant, man.
Yeah.
But this week we've got two things to talk about. We're going to talk about SummerSlam, and we got your feedback. We heard you like the way that we did it last week, so thank you for that. And we're going to kind of do it that week. And this every week, I've decided we're going to have a theme, just a random theme, where we're just going to talk about it. Okay. So Raw and SmackDown, they were both very good this week, but it was all leading up to SummerSlam, so we're not going to go too much into it. Next week is more going to be our reactions and what we think we're going to go from here. This week, however, now I've had a drink. We're going to talk about the final matches, which I think are exactly the same. Am I right in thinking there's no new matches that have been announced in the last week?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, I don't think they have. So I'm
Mm.
hopefully not going to forget any when I do this. We're going to start tonight with tonight for us. We're going to start today, or whenever you're listening to this, or watching. I keep on forgetting, or watching. Hi to all the YouTube viewers. Yes, and thanks for that, by the way. Very quickly, YouTube, we did really well on this week. So thanks so much for that. Really helps us learn, like where our audience is and where people are listening. I know we're only a small podcast at the moment. We've nearly reached 100 downloads for our first 10 weeks, and for a podcast that had absolutely no promo and still barely gets any promo, which we are working on, by the way. We're over the moon. I mean, one thing that I was shocked by was I didn't put anything out there about it being up on YouTube, apart from the fact that I called the video "We're Live" last week, um, and within 24 hours we had 15 views on YouTube, which really shocked me considering how many people just went and watched it that way. So I want to really thank people for doing that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, just thought I'd chuck that in very quickly. Stats by Charlie Crick. So yes, what I was going to say, I'm going to try and remember. I'm hoping you can give me a hand in case if I forget any. I'm going to try and remember as many of the SummerSlam matches as I can, and we're going to go through it as quickly as we can so we can get to our main topic later. So SummerSlam, they have released basically the lineup in order. Um, I'm not over the moon with the order that it looks like it's going to go in, but we'll get into that in a minute. From what it looks like, Callum, the first fight on Saturday night will be LA Knight versus Logan Paul. I don't have any problem with that fight kicking off the show.
Ooh.
I think that's going to be a banger. Very quickly, because we're going to go through it, quite quickly, because we have spent quite a bit of time talking about this in previous episodes. If you want to hear it, please go back and listen to them. Um, what do you think? Win, lose, or draw on that one?
I think it's going to be another win for Logan Paul. Logan
Really?
Paul. I think Logan Paul is a. I don't know if you. Well, it's kind of actual that it's a genius move getting Logan Paul involved in WWE because I thought it's brung so many new eyes to the product.
It
Um,
has.
and
Yeah.
having him on board, he's just one of those people that just brings viewers and brings attention to it. And I just can't see Logan Paul losing here. I think he's actually going to keep it till next Mania.
Oh, that's really interesting. Right, one thing I will throw in there very quickly. Do you think we're going to see another old YouTube Twitch star help him with a win? Are we going to see the Prime bottle and another big
Do
old
you know what
face for real?
my prediction is? Do you know who I think is going to help him out?
Mr. Beast?
No, I'm going to say this, and I think I'm going to be right here. We're in a country-esque place, aren't we? Where is it again? Jelly
Well,
Roll singing the theme. It's very
Yeah,
like
I think it's
very country music themed, isn't
I
it?
think it's Texas. I could be wrong.
Okay. But I think the person that's going to help him out will be the Hot Tour girl because she is
Oh
everywhere at the
God.
moment. She's everywhere at the moment, and I think she'll
You know
be
what?
there.
I actually think you could be right. But
Yeah.
actually, the only thing is, would they let a woman get involved in the men's matches? That's
Well,
someone that's not that involved.
she might Hot Tour on LA Knight's face. Well, she'll spit in
You know,
LA
that's
Knight.
actually not a bad prediction. But
Yeah.
you're saying that you think that he's going to win.
Yes, I think
Okay.
he.
Here's the way I look at it. I think someone will get involved. I think it will be very, very close to the line. But I think purely because of the way it's been running at the moment, and if you look at the overall storyline, because I know I've said this to you before, and I know I've said this on an episode, WWE don't give us what we want, they give us what we need at the time of telling it. They give you what you want, but it won't be at the time that you think you're going to get it. Over a year ago, we were all gutted that LA Knight didn't get Money in the Bank. In November last year, we were gutted because even though we knew it wasn't going to happen, he got that shot at going for Roman Reigns, and obviously he didn't get it. And he's had that kind of surplus moment where he's not been slipping down the card, but he's not been the main focus. Let's be honest.
Hasn't.
I think that there's going to be a shocker here, and I think that now is the time they're going to give the fans what they wanted a year ago. I think LA Knight's going to win it because I think if he doesn't, I don't know where they're going to go. And that's the reason I think he's going to win it is purely because not because I don't want Logan to win it. I kind of don't anyway. But I think that if you look at the overall arcing story of LA Knight, this is the time where they're going to make that move on him.
Yeah. No. Look, really, Charlie. If I'm honest, it could go either way. It could go
Yeah,
either way.
100%.
Like, yeah, I don't see why LA Knight couldn't win. I mean, it could be the time. And SummerSlam is getting more and more. Would you say it's the second biggest pay per view of the year?
It is the second biggest pay per view of the year. It is.
Mm.
I always
Yeah.
want to say I always say that the biggest pay per view, the second biggest pay per view in the overarching story of that season. For those that don't know, I call it a season because every year is like an overarching story from one WrestleMania to another. I know it probably winds people up the wall, but anyway, I think if you look at the overarching story in this season,
It's like it's
couple-
SummerSlam the mid season finale.
well, this is the thing. I always used to think it should have been Money in the Bank, not just because it's my favorite pay per view, but purely because it is like that moment where it twists the storyline a little bit.
Yeah, my
Um,
favorite Royal Rumble. I think it'll always be Royal Rumble. I just love it so much.
Yeah, but no, I think LA Knight's going to win. I don't know how, and I'm just being honest. Maybe, just maybe, he's got someone on his side that they haven't even mentioned yet. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. So you're going for Logan Paul, and I'm going for LA Knight. So we're going to put the points for that down, and we will see what happens next week. So next match that I'm running this in a random order, guys, is we've got yet again Sami Zayn versus it's not Chad Gable, is it? Who is it against?
It's Braun Breaker.
It's Bron Breakker. Yes, it is. I knew it was one where they're repeating the match because I knew we spoke about this.
I love Braun Breaker. I love Braun Breaker so much. I think this is Braun Breaker's time.
I want to make one prediction here, and I think this is going to be. There's one big prediction that I think everyone's aware of now. But I think there's one other I want to make that I think is going to be, like when we have like so Solo and Cody are headlining, but the real headline is really going to be CM Punk versus Drew. But then you always have that shocker of a match that you go, that really stole the show.
Bit off topic, but this is a great card. This is a great card.
It's a great card. I was thinking that earlier. I think for me that this Sami Zayn Bron Breakker match could be that. And do you want to know why?
Go on.
If you look at the way they've built up Bron Breakker, where they've put him, I think Bron's going to win the belt, and then
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's going to come out.
Oh,
And I really mean it.
And then Braun beats Brock later down the line, and then makes him the new Brock.
But
much.
you could easily build the same kind of story that Brock had the last time he had a run, where you just have him have 3 fights with Braun like he did with Cody, and it would work perfectly.
Yeah, and I
'Cause
think
Brock is at that stage now where he's putting people over. He's done with the Roman thing. We're not going back to that anymore. We're not going to have that weird thing where it's like, well, we don't know, but it's only going to be for 3 months. That's over. It's gone. The Roman era is gone. It's not put Brock in that position. If he's going to come back, and a lot of people have said, if he's going to come back at SummerSlam, it's going to be at a weird moment. And I'm going to tell you now, I think it's going to be then.
Well,
If
can I?
if
Let me. Yeah, go on.
wait, if he doesn't rejoin with Paul Heyman, that's the
I
other
think-
part to it.
Yeah, but Braun Breaker, and I don't see it happening at Summer. Well, not the Brock Lesnar thing. That could happen, but I don't see Paul Heyman thing. But Braun Breaker for me has so much potential and such a big thing they could do with him. They have got really the same thing as they had with Brock Lesnar. He's got, like,
They
the
did.
next-
But what
the next
happened at the
thing.
last pay per view?
What, Braun losing?
Yeah, they chickened out of it.
Yeah.
I've said this before. They built him up. He's
I
going to be the
remember-
next. He's going to be the next Goldberg. What happens in his first pay per view match? Loses.
Yeah, but he loses in a way that was kind of like screwed over, wasn't it? If I
But then he
remember.
comes back on Raw and he absolutely destroys Sami Zayn.
Yeah, but he didn't lose clean, did he? He didn't lose clean. I don't think. I'm trying to remember.
I
don't
don't
think he-
think.
No,
I
I
don't
think he was attacked by Sheamus, wasn't he, or something like that? I can't remember.
I believe that was on Raw.
But
to be
Braun
honest.
Breaker
No,
really.
yeah, it was on Raw. It was on Raw or SmackDown. It was one of the two.
What I love about him, he has this frightening pace. He's so quick, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
so scary. Like, he's so fast. He, like, when he rebounds against the rope, it sometimes moves the ring. You know,
Yeah.
it's that quick. And
It
he's
takes me
just-
back to the days when we were first seeing what's his name? Works a load with Alexa Bliss. Not Bray
Um,
Wyatt. Braun Strowman. He reminds me a lot of when you see him move that quickly. When we've seen the early stages of Braun Strowman, when you go, Jesus, that guy's like 6'8" and he's making that ring move more than he is. It's
And
like
I'm-
it was shocking how quickly he was moving at that stage. And I'm getting the
I'm
same
always-
thing with Braun.
I'm always a big advocate, a huge advocate for how important an entrance is for a wrestler. You know, I know it seems minor,
No,
But-
it's 100% appointment.
but an
Appointment.
entrance theme, and the way the entrance is done is so important, I think, for people. And I'm actually really liking his new music, and I think he's got quite a because when you hear Brock Lesnar's music, it just strikes fear in you, doesn't it? Every
Yeah.
time, you know, it just makes goosebumps stand on the back of your neck.
And you've
And,
brought up a really good point there. And if anyone wants to question that, I can give you one absolute 2-word answer that will kill anyone that says that entrance music is important to building someone up. 2 words: Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
Look at what they've done with her. I think she has the most special effects in her entrance now than anyone else. Right, maybe the Wyatt Six. But seriously, you look at them. Naomi isn't doing the it's all about the glow thing anymore. So there's none of that. A few people have other stuff. You've got Brock when he is back with the flames and all that, and you've got some of it going off when Seth Rollins comes out, and you've got the pops for Roman. But apart from that, right, you've got the whoa. I'm proving my point less and less here. What I'm trying to say is the amount of time and effort they put into that Jade Cargill theme for the first time we heard it to now, like it's almost, to me, it was almost like a Sting thing.
Yeah, and I think like it's so important. That's why I was, and Jim Johnston, the original creator of so many iconic themes, man, I miss him so much. He never missed. He had some incredible themes. Like he was responsible for some of the most electrifying music you would have heard.
Yeah.
He was a genius. We got like The Rock, Stone Cold. All these people, The Undertaker. He was responsible for all that. And
Was
Def
he
Rebel.
responsible for? Yeah, he was.
Def Rebel just ain't it. They
I don't
they
know. They've had a few.
a lot
I
of miss.
hate to join that bandwagon on that. I'm not saying that they've had hit after hit, because they haven't. There's been a
But some of
few
it's
that
so
they've
generic.
done that have been good.
Yeah, a few. Probably like 40% maybe of their music is all right, but
Yeah.
it's just nowhere near the level of Jim Johnston. But hey, it's getting there. I mean, but I just miss the days where every single wrestler had a really good theme.
Yeah.
Anyway, off topic. Next match.
Back to where we were. So where do you think that's going to come? Just quickly wrapping that one up. Do you think Braun's going to win? Do you think Sammy's going to win?
Hopefully a squash match and Bron Breakker wins in about 10 seconds.
So you agreeing with me that you think that Braun's going to win?
Yeah, and I would love.
And you know
to
what? I think you've got a really good point there saying it's a squash match, because for what you said a minute ago, that card is so stacked. They're going to want most of them fights to go for 20, 25 minutes. There's
Yeah.
no way in hell, by the way, that even though this isn't headlining, there is no way in hell someone can tell me that the most hyped fight for this SummerSlam is Cody versus Solo Sikoa. Absolutely not. It's Drew versus CM Punk. But something's going to happen in the Cody match that's going to make people talk a little bit more about it. But
Yeah.
anyway, we'll get to that. So we're both agreeing we think Braun's going to win this.
Braun, yeah, and I would love to see Brock Lesnar afterwards.
Yeah, it was just something I thought about the other day, and I thought if that's still going to happen, I think that's the way they're going to go about it. Anyway, moving on, we're going to go to the two King and the Queen of the Ring matches, because they have shots at the title. So let's start with Gunther versus Damian Priest. I'm split down the middle for this.
Wow, I see. This card is really good. I forgot about that match.
Yeah.
Now I'm reminded. It's so tough because
When you look at them two, I think this is the way that most fans have got to go into this match, because there's been a bit of a build. Again, I said this 3 weeks ago. It's so hard for them to build up enough story within enough matches within 3 weeks, and it actually means something. And I think they've just about managed that with the Nia Jax and Bailey match. I don't think they have with this match, because there has been so much concentration since Rhea's come back that has actually taken a back step. I know we've had stuff in the ring and that.
Don't forget about Gunther. I mean, we say about Braun Breaker, but how about this? Gunther wins and then Brock comes back. Gunther wins and Brock comes back in this match to face Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship.
100%.
That could happen.
Yeah. But
because that's a match people
think that. No, go on.
Gunther versus Brock is a match people want. They've said a lot about it. People really want this match, and that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It does, but I don't see it happening there. I see it happening with Breaker. I don't see it happening there. It would shock me if they went that way, actually. There you go. That would be a shocker for me. I don't know what to say about this match, because honestly, I'm kind of starting to really enjoy Damian as a champion. However, I think it's time they put a belt back on Gunther.
Yeah,
I really do. And people could say, it's only been since Mania and whatever, but how much of a not backstage, but how much of a back foot have they put on Gunther? Do you know what would be really interesting? If the match went on for like 30 minutes and then Gunther was about to win, and then Ludwig Kaiser stopped him from winning. You know,
Mm.
Imperium started falling on him. You know, something like that. But the thing is, we keep on coming up with ideas where everyone's gonna crash the match. It's not gonna happen. It's most of these matches are gonna be, you know, 1-on-1. I definitely think there's gonna be. I definitely think if any match is gonna break a table early on in the show, it's gonna be that one.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I can just see Gunther going for a table. Just the pure shocker that Damien can lift him would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just not a big Damien. Well, I am a Damien Priest fan. I don't know if I like him as world heavyweight champion.
You just prefer saying he's a bisexual Undertaker.
Yeah, I just don't.
Which is the weirdest thing in the world. Can we just ask where the hell that came from, by the way?
Yeah,
Because that was really weird. It was like, okay, we're going down that route of weirdness now. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, he's not even walking out that slowly to his music. I mean, technically, he's not even a heel in this situation. He's the face,
yeah,
wouldn't you say?
yeah. You're right.
And don't you think it's interesting they've made both King and Queen of the Ring heels in their matches? I thought
Yeah.
that was really interesting that they did that.
I actually, I do also think. So we're going with Gunther for this, then. Maybe.
I'm going with Gunther. Yeah,
Yeah, go for Gunther.
but I wouldn't be surprised if he held on. Going over to the next one, Nia Jax versus Bailey. Well, I think this one's kind of written itself already.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Nia wins. Tiffany
Nia wins. Tiffany comes out, cashes in. Tiffany's the champion. I think this is so obvious at this point. And the thing is, that's what kind of annoys me. I'll be excited that it happens, and I'll be really happy that Tiffany wins. But I just feel like I'm almost positive in saying that the last women's Money in the Bank with Io Sky was won at SummerSlam.
No, I'm going to say.
I'm 90% sure in saying that was how they did it last time. And it just kind of feels like we're rinsing and repeating it with the women's Money in the Bank cash-ins now. So if we're going to do it, great. You've already stuck your guns to it. But next year, WWE, can we have one where they last more than one pay-per-view before they cash it in?
Tiffany
I mean,
Stratton.
literally, last 3 years, genuinely, last 3 years, and this will shock people, Liv Morgan cashed in on the night. Io Sky cashed in at SummerSlam. And if we are right, Tiffany Stratton, SummerSlam. That is all within 1 month. Do you know what the average is for the men's Money in the Bank within the last 3 years?
Go on.
3 to 6 months.
3
to 6 months.
Really, if you looked at it realistically, if you actually had the Money in the Bank, you would really try and cash it in as soon as possible. Well, maybe at the best point.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Oh, that's a conversation for another day. That's a subject for a podcast. That's a subject for an episode. If we had Money in the Bank, where would we plan to cash it in?
Quick statement, 1 sentence, and then we can ignore it and move past it. Tiffany Stratton is hot.
Thank you for the weekly reminder of that.
Yes.
Peter, just put
and so is Liv Morgan.
Peter, just put a picture of Tiffany Stratton here and just say the weekly reminder.
And also Liv Morgan.
And Liv Morgan in the other corner, please, Peter. Yes. There we go. So, as you heard there, weekly reminder, Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan.
Preferably the picture of her in the jean shorts.
And then Rhea Ripley above me, please. Yep, perfect. Done. Cool. Right, moving on. As we said, so are we right in thinking that we both think that neither of them are going to retain and it's going to be a Tiffany Stratton win? Yeah. One note really quickly on this. I'm really, really annoyed that we did not get the run we wanted with Bailey as the champion. It's really annoyed me. She didn't get the right promotion for her match up to Mania. They pushed her to a side from the beginning. She's had no, apart from Backlash, and I think I'm right in saying that, apart from Backlash, she has had no other chances to defend her championship. And I felt there was so much more they could have done with it, but they've pushed it back, had one chance of defending it, and then the second chance, she's going to lose it. And she is going to lose it because they've done. I'm sorry, Bailey, I love you, but they've dumbed the story down with her in the title for so long now that it's almost like, why she still got it?
Yeah, it's just not
You know what
very.
I mean? And it's really annoyed me they've done that. And especially because she's at that part in her career that I don't know if she's going to get another shot at the title now. If she's actually going to get another run with it.
This is a controversial thing to say. Bailey was really helped by Sasha Banks. Her presence lifted Bailey, I think. Just like them two together, they really bounced off each other
But
well.
you could have said that about Naomi. You could have said that about Charlotte Flair. You could have said that about Becky Lynch.
I'm a big
Heck,
Sasha Banks
you could have
fan.
even said it about Bianca Belair. I'm not the biggest fan of her, but I will give Sasha Banks one thing. When she was in WWE and she was part of that women's lineup at the time, and you know when I'm talking the gold, what I think should be called the golden era of women's wrestling
Yeah.
was 2014 to 2018. I'm just being on it, 2020 actually, because I got the first women's headliner match then. No, 2021. I apologize. In that golden era, I'm not the biggest fan of the way she wrestles, but
No, well, from what
when
I've
Sasha
seen,
was there, she lifted everyone up with her.
from what I've seen, mate, and I will say this as a statement, Sasha Banks, I think, is the best female wrestler on the planet. In my opinion, I think she is. But, you know, debatable, of course. But she's my favorite.
Are you talking currently or all time?
I think maybe nearly all time. I think she is every match I've
You
watched.
said currently, I would have let you get away with that.
No.
but-
Because every Sasha Banks match I've seen, I just think it's always been my favorite women's match. Like my favorite women's match of all time is Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, and it's because of Sasha Banks. She's just really good. She's brilliant, but she's not the best on the mic though. She really isn't the best on the mic, but she's great in the ring, and we're seeing her soon. A few weeks
Yeah,
time.
she's coming around for dinner. No,
Well, yeah, we're
all
seeing
in.
it all in. And also, I hate to say this, Pete, she is hot. So please picture there for me.
Moving on very quickly, before we lose track, and we need to wrap this bit up because we've got other stuff to talk about. The last two. So you've got Bailey versus, yeah, we've done that, haven't we? We
yeah,
did
yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah. What
we
was
got
the
to be
next
quick on
one?
these last two, don't we?
Last three. There's three left.
Yeah, okay.
You got the fight for the custody of Dominic Mysterio Part 2. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Personally, I think this one's said and done, and I think I made my prediction already. Everyone's going to think Rhea's going to win because Rhea's just come back. I think this is also one of the reasons why Damien has a chance of retaining for this one reason alone. I think the one reason alone that I think that Damien could still keep his championship is because everyone in their head is thinking, well, Rhea's just come back. She needs to win the title back. Blah, 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 blah. Come on, guys. Look with a pair of real see-through glasses with me. It's going to be Rhea winning, and then Dom's going to get involved, and Liv is going to take the belt, and it's going to break up the Judgment Day. This is the end of the Judgment Day. This will be the beginning of the end.
Wow.
And I think this is almost like the Tiffany Stratton situation, where this is obvious now. I really think this is what's going to happen. It's going to be Dom turning on his dad again, but he's turning on Rhea this time. I think they're really trying to like repeat that like deja vu situation. Custody of Dom, and then custody of the belt, and then Dom turning on someone yet again. I really think that's how this is going to go. I also, oh, by the way, one thing, Triple H, if there's any chance in hell you're going to hear this, please, for the love of God, give these women at least 30 minutes. At least. I know you're tight for time, but come on,
It's a
man.
fantastic match and lots of drama in it. And I just think it'd be a really good match.
Yeah. I mean, there's other things I think could happen at SummerSlam that I'll keep on saying that Brock Lesnar's going to return, someone else is going to show up and interfere. But I think this SummerSlam has so many possibilities, and I'm going to try and get all of mine out now. Okay. And another one, and I'm not saying it will happen at this match, this could actually happen at the end of the Tiffany Stratton match, and that is, I think Charlotte Flair's going to return. Because she has been building that for so long on Instagram now that I really think it will be her return at SummerSlam. She's not going to be ready to wrestle yet. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying she's going to return, start doing promos in the ring, and she's probably got 1 month left of recovery. But I think she will get. I think it will be a CM Punk situation where she will get medically cleared in time for Survivor Series or whatever's after. Bad Blood. She'll get cleared in time for Bad Blood. That's genuinely what I think will happen. But I can see Charlotte Flair returning there. So are we all in agreement on that one?
Yes.
Yeah? You think the same thing's going to happen?
Mm,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think like Liv. Yeah, I hope Liv wins. I just really do. That's you know, that's my take. I just really
But I wouldn't be annoyed if Rhea won. I'm going to say that as well. But I think it's going more the other way.
yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Right, so we've got 2 more matches left. Is it 2 more matches? Yes, it is. So we've got the actual headlining match and what I think should actually be the headlining match. You know what? Let's go. Yeah, let's go in order still. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth frickin' Rollins as the referee. This is going to be all an out war. This will go for 45 minutes. Guaranteed. This will go for 45 minutes. If the pay-per-view is 3 hours, every other match is going to be 20 minutes. If they're going to give 45 to one other match, it's that one. Heck, as I said, I think that should top the card. Honestly, and there is only one reason why that's not going to happen.
And why's that?
So yeah, I'm going to leave that there, and that's the only reason why I think that other match, the Solo Sikoa match versus Cody, is going to headline. That is the one reason why. I took him to the 3rd time to realize what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look,
Jesus.
you
Go.
do realize Cody's losing.
No, he's not.
He's losing.
No, he's
Cody
not.
losing that match.
No way. No
He's
way.
losing that match. He's losing that match.
If anything, right, you know what? Sorry, we're both more excited about that second match. Let's go into this one now. Let's go into Solo versus Cody. Right, let me hear what you think's going to go down first. I'm going to enjoy this because he genuinely thinks that Cody's going to lose. Come on.
We got 2 minutes here. Okay. I think Cody, fantastic. I love the guy. You know, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. His title run, I don't know why it just hasn't slapped that the way I thought it would be. I'm not saying he won't be champion again in the near future, but I think he's going to get really screwed over. And I think shockingly, Solo's going to win. Solo is going to win. He's going to beat Cody Rhodes to a bloody pulp, in fact. And Roman Reigns is going to come back at the end of the match and almost
You got half of that right.
almost save him. Turn face. I think Roman will turn face actually. If he does come back, he'll turn face.
I think he will turn face in the way of the view of the new bloodline. He will not turn full face again. He will be one that's on that pillar in between,
Yeah, like an
where
anti-hero.
any minute it could happen. Yeah.
Like he'll kind of be like an evil guy, but people still like him.
Yeah. So that's what you think's going to happen.
Yeah.
Here's how I see it. You were absolutely right on the first part. I think Solo is going to beat him to the absolute pulp. I think that all the other Bloodline members are going to be involved. 100%. I think Cody is going to barely make any moves in this match. Genuinely. I wouldn't even be surprised if they do a thing on Friday Night SmackDown this week where he's beaten to the point where he can barely wrestle. I think the fight's going to be absolutely brilliant. It's going to keep on going. And then do you know what's going to happen?
Go on.
Roman Reigns is going to come out and he's going to save Cody. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because he told him from the beginning, do not touch Cody. That is not your job. That's the tribal chief's job. No one has
Well,
made Solo the tribal chief apart from himself. Jay hasn't acknowledged him. Jimmy hasn't been there. Sammy's not even involved in the bloodline anymore.
Welcome back
Two.
the free count.
So here's the reason why I think that Cody will retain. One, I think that the match will be an absolute smash match. I think Cody will barely make any moves. I think that he will have a few good shots at the beginning. But the Bloodline's just going to come in and start wrecking the place. Paul Heyman ain't there anymore to try and calm that boy down. So it's going to get reckless. God knows if we're even going to get introduced to another member of the Utuwati family. I'm presuming.
Actually, now you say that, I could imagine at the end of the match or maybe midpoint, Paul Heyman coming out going, Cody, Cody, Cody. And then Roman Reigns comes out with him.
No. I'm going to go back to Paul Heyman in a minute. Okay? I think that that's how the match is going to go. I think that all the Bloodline's going to be there. Tama Tonga, Tungaloa, and Tozawa. I think they're all going to be there. Not Tozawa. Am I right in saying that?
Nah, not Tozawa. Tamalonga. Jacob Fatu, Tamalonga.
Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tungaloa. I think all of the Bloodline are going to come out. We're going to see Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa. They're going to come out, wreck the place. I'm hoping to see quite a bit of Jacob Fatu, to be honest, because my God, that man can cook when he's in the ring. And just as Solo goes to get the count, you're going to hear the music hit. And Roman's going to come out. Okay? That's what I think is going to happen. And Roman is going to stop Cody from losing. Heck, I think they might even do it another way, where they don't even play the music and he actually appears like from the audience and grabs him. Or jumps over like the side barrier. You know, because everyone's expecting it to be this big shocking moment, the music's going to hit, which I think that's going to happen. But, there's a chance it could go the other way. Hi. I made this joke a few months ago to Callum, is if anyone's ever seen that meme of the kid when he wakes up in the morning, he goes, hi, good morning, and he's really happy. I said, that is exactly what I hear when I hear that, hi, for Roman Rhodes. Roman, man, that would be a collaboration, wouldn't it? Roman Reigns. So every time I hear it, I just hear hi, 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 hi. Yeah, that's all I hear. But no, either way, I think that's what's going to happen. And I genuinely think that Roman will save Cody and he will still keep the belt because he will come back and he will grab him, hold him really, really high up and go, don't forget the promise that you still kept, and just drop him to the floor. So he'll win and then Roman will leave and then, go from there. One thing I'm going to throw in there very quickly, purely because I've seen a couple of things, especially over the last couple of days. What do you think the chances are that we're going to see old Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, turn up at SummerSlam?
It's SummerSlam. It's a big event.
It could
Maybe.
happen, but I just don't see them doing it this early.
Yeah, it's a bit too early, isn't it? Really, to start
Heck,
building.
there you go. That might be the big shocker. Everyone's going to expect it's going to be Roman, but it's actually The Rock that comes out.
Yeah, I mean, look, we are seeing Roman Reigns versus the Rock at Mania, probably.
Well, if that's the way they're going to go.
All goes well.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that anyway. I'll talk about that later. But go on. Let's okay. Drew and CM Punk.
Let's just finish on that one. So, do you think that Cody's going to lose? Wholeheartedly.
Yes, yeah, wholeheartedly. I think it's gonna
Wow.
be.
Well, I think
Shock-
Cody's going to lose the match, but he's going to hold the belt just about by Roman coming in and saving him and Roman going, don't forget, you're still mine, or something along them lines.
Maybe, yeah, like Roman comes in like he did in 2020 when he beat up Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman.
You're just a thing in the mask, something like that. You say something like, you're just holding my belt for now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You're just holding my place. Something along them lines. Now we're going to go to the match that we both think should. I think you're in the same position here, where we both think should really headline this SummerSlam, because it's had the biggest build up. It has. I'm sorry. It's been building up since Royal Rumble, and that is we're finally going to get to see CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and it's going to be with Seth frickin' Rollins as the referee. By the way, very good promo on Raw this week for the rules of that match. Did think they were going to go a bit further. Did think they were going to make it, a
No disqualification.
I'm thinking of the other one. What's it called? No hold bars. I did think they were going to do that.
Thing is, Charlie, it near enough is
It's
because
basically going to be.
Seth
Yeah, because
Rollins
Seth's going to be like, look over there. I didn't see that. But
yeah.
by the
yeah.
way, I think CM Punk and Drew have both been phenomenal during this storyline. But
Yeah.
I have to say that segment that Drew had in that promo, oh my god, that wasn't just good, that was believable. I mean, there's a difference, especially with wrestling, okay? And I don't think they get enough credit, is that, they're not actors, but everything they do, even if it is, written down and it's a promo they've repeated, they're doing it live for the first time, properly, in front of an audience, and they can't do it again. They get one shot at doing it. The way that Drew did that promo and did that segment where he said, you're lucky that there's going to be a ref there, because to be honest, I would kill you. It's the fact that he used them words. That's not usually said. And it was the way he said it and the intensity. I thought, that's not just a good promo. That was believable. It was that good. So all full props go to Drew McIntyre on that. Getting down to the match, I've got one little worry.
Go on.
I think you know what it is. I am so scared that CM Punk's going to get injured.
He's a very fragile man, it seems.
If he gets injured, that's it. And I mean it. I mean it. If he gets injured in this match, game over, mate. 3 matches within an entire year, and you got injured, and had to be sidelined in every single one, game over. I'm praying. I am absolutely praying he doesn't, and he finally gets to shut up the haters and show people why he is as popular as he is now, and why people should start paying attention to him now he's
No,
back in WWE.
I think the long-term future for CM Punk is, and this might not be for a little while yet because, he's still got some years left in him, but he has the potential to be the next best commentator.
I was going
He
to
is,
say something else, but I think you're right.
he's a fantastic commentator, and I think down the line he'll be like the Michael Cole. He'll be like the best commentator for WWE. I think he'll be amazing at doing that.
I'm just waiting because your video has frozen.
Charlie is frozen.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Charlie
this.
has frozen.
Yeah, so either way, either I'm frozen or he's frozen, or let it go, let it go. Right, I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of my own meeting. It was still recording, I think. That was weird. I'll be surprised if that's not one full video. I hope it is anyway. Anyway, we're going to pray that that's recorded, that bit, actually. Let's just double check. Oh, man, it's frozen again.
No, it hasn't. No, I'm joking.
Oh, you... You are such a prick. Yeah, I think you're right in what you said about a minute ago about he could make a great commentator. Do you know what I thought when what I thought you was going to say when you said that?
Yeah, go on.
I honestly thought you were going to say he'd make a great manager like Paul Heyman,
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he
because I
would. He
can
would.
really see him in that role.
Oh yeah, actually, maybe that's better for him actually because he's such a good talker,
No,
isn't he?
no, I'm not saying evil would be a bad one. I think you've got a point. The commentator thing would be brilliant. The thing is, you just don't want to make them. I mean, it's in the nicest way because I love this guy, by the way. Do not take this in the wrong way. But if you're talking in terms of stature on the commentating line, I just really hope he don't get sidelined like Booker T, where he's got the experience, he knows what he's doing, but he's been put on blinking NXT. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there's some commentators I really don't like. I never really liked that Irish guy. I didn't think he was very good. And also I love Pat McAfee. I think he's fantastic. There was a really good
Pat
the
McKee. You mean
the
Pat McAfee?
McAfee, yeah, that's it. And on NXT, there used to be a commentator. Oh, I can't remember what his name was, but he used to be amazing. I don't know where he's gone because he's one of the best commentators ever. But I think he had some sort of anxiety
Byron
issue.
Saxton?
No, it wasn't him. He
Because
used to be like,
he's not left. Who am I thinking of that's left recently?
no, he used to say things like "Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia."
I
Like
can't
that.
remember. Someone's going to remember who it is and put it in the blinking comments.
But he was really good. He was excellent.
Yeah.
He would have. But anyway,
Back to the match. Yeah, I just don't want him to get injured.
yeah, please don't.
I'm actually really scared that he's gonna. But
Yeah.
maybe this is the match. I'm praying this is the match where he's like so good that people go, "Oh my god, it's 2014 Punk back again." Wouldn't
I
that be
think
amazing?
I think you should come into this Fire Burns as well. The music just for a one-off.
I feel like that's more of a Mania thing they do. But again,
Yes,
this match kind of deserves that kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe that will happen. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Drew come into Fallen Dreams, Broken Dreams.
I'm so pissed off, like with that. Like Drew, just freaking bring it back. It's the best music. Just bring it back.
I
The-
think
the
he's.
back-
I think the whole Scottish warrior character caught
No,
on so well from when he came back, though,
I
that it
hate
was
Drew.
like, yeah, this works now.
I hate Drew's music with a passion.
Why?
And, like,
What's your problem with bagpipes?
It sucks.
They don't suck.
It's boring. It's so boring, man. Broken Dreams is so much better. Like I've always hated Drew's music. I just find it so dull.
Ugh.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun,
Dun,
Dun-dun.
dun, 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 dun,
And
dun,
that-
dun. I don't know what I'm singing because that is completely off.
I mean, nah, it's just not exciting. Broken Dreams would be awesome. It's such good lyrics as well. You never hear the shot that takes you down. So good.
Very true. Well, apparently, I was going to say you don't know really. But yeah, come on, Callum. Let's hear your side of the story on this. How do you think this match is going to go?
CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
I mean, the thing is, just before I know I said I want to hear your side, just very quickly before I finish off on this, I'm not going to say who I think could win because I genuinely would be happy with either of them because there's the could have and should have side of this.
Yeah.
Who should
I-
win and who could win.
I honestly am very mutual with this match. I'm just really looking forward to it. I don't really mind who wins. Like, I'm not really bothered because as long as it's a great match, like, I don't really mind. There's not.
It's
Um,
really difficult though, isn't it?
I think after everything that Drew's been through, Drew should probably win.
But technically, because it's Punk's proper first match back, singles match, in over a decade. And they need to prove that he's just as good, because if not, you're just talking that he's that good. He needs to, they both, again, you look at it, and it's actually not just storyline anymore. They both need to win for their career's sake. Which
And
is why I am so shocked that they have not put a belt on the line for this one.
Drew should. Drew should get the world championship at some point too.
He should, but technically, okay, again, that's another thing. He could lose and then go for someone else, but then
Drew needs to win. I think Drew needs to win on this, but maybe Seth screws Punk over so it doesn't look so bad for Punk, and then it sets up Seth and Punk. I don't know.
very true. But then again, we're back at the hurdle where when are we going to see Punk?
And Seth, yeah, long time.
Yeah,
I don't think we're ever gonna get
because
Punk regularly wrestling on Raw. Do you think? We'll
oh,
get that?
rubbish! No way, no way.
Like just a one pay-per-view sort of guy.
No, I'm saying no way. That is definitely going to happen. 100%.
Oh, what you think he's
Yeah,
gonna
man.
wrestle regularly on
Yeah,
Raw? CM Punk,
yeah.
really?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Look at the things they have been doing with him since he was just medically cleared and before he was medically cleared. You know, it's
Yeah.
almost like, you know, when
A lot
Cody was
like-
getting involved to save Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn was getting involved to save Cody, and Kevin Owens was getting involved to save Sami, and Sami was getting involved to save Cody, and Cody KO was getting involved. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's one of those where I think that
But yeah, look.
you know what I
that-
think would actually not surprise me, and some people would get really, really peed off about this, but hear me out. I think this could actually be a match where Seth screws both of them over, and it's a whatever you call it disqualification. So there's no winner or loser, and then at Bad Blood there's a fatal three-way between them.
Triple threat, yeah.
Triple threat, or even if one of the others gets involved, you make it a fatal four-way for the belt, and it's at Bad Blood, so therefore they could make it like, you know, Steel Cage, Iron Man, all that kind of
Actually,
stuff.
speaking of that, because it is Bad Blood, they're saying that there's almost definitely going to be a Hell in the Cell match.
This is what I'm saying, and I think if you look at that roster right now, and you're trying to base a storyline of which one of them could go Hell in the Cell, you could do it with the Bloodline, yeah, but don't think it would work as well because there's too many of them.
Yeah.
Could do it with Gunther, yeah, but are you people really going to be interested that quickly? Damien with the last bit of the Judgment Day, yeah, but again, people are more interested in the rear side. You do it with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, or if you do it just with CM Punk, or just with Drew McIntyre, or if just with Seth Rollins, mate, you're cooking. All three
Yeah.
of them. Creme brulee bloody lay. Ray, or whatever it's called. Creme brulee. There you go. That's what you're cooking with. And that's the first time I thought about it being a disqualification match. I'm shocking myself here. Because that's the only time I thought about it, and I know I've said it out loud. I actually think I'd be happy with that. Because if you ask me right now, who do you think's going to win? I want Punk to win, but I think Drew needs the win. And I cannot split hairs on it. I cannot split hairs. I mean, the only thing, and I can't think of anyone that it would be, is there anyone that you can see on the roster that is not involved in anything to do with CM Punk or Drew that have got a close connection with Seth that could genuinely come in and actually make Seth the winner? Because that is the only other shocker that I can see here.
No, I don't.
And I can't. I've genuinely tried to sit here and think. I thought maybe you could say Randy Orton, but he is so much more involved with the Cody thing, backing him up. Seth Rollins, who has he got behind him? And I genuinely can't think. Is there anyone? I mean, Becky's not going to do it. But that is the only other way that I think would make people not civil, but like, okay, neither of them won. So technically neither of them lost. But this time it's going to be a triple threat because of what Seth Rollins did. So now we're going to have 3 people in the game and it's going to be in a steel cage. That's the only way I can see it working. And again, this is me thinking out loud. Because I genuinely cannot pick a winner for this match.
Drew McIntyre. CM Punk. Do you know what, Charlie? Let's leave this one up. Let's enjoy the match. Let's just enjoy
Let's enjoy the match. But I think we've proven right here and now why this match should really be headlining.
Yeah, because you can't really.
Because you genuinely cannot pick a winner. And how often
you can't
have
even
you sat there and watched the pay-per-view and genuinely gone, I don't know who's going to win?
You can't even really pick how the match is even going to play out.
No, and that's the thing.
But yeah.
Drew could be absolute dynamite. CM Punk could be absolutely on his game, and we could be getting 2014 Punk. We could get 5 minutes into this match and Punk destroys his ankle or something, and we're back to the waiting game yet again. This is the other thing I think is really clever. We don't know how Seth's going to play this match. Because he is just as vital for this match as Drew and Punk. I really mean, I know people go, oh, no shit. Because
I think we're going to see blood in this match too.
Oh, 100%. That's not even a question.
Punk's going to be busted open like properly, I think.
Yeah.
I just hope it's more. I just hope they don't go down the more route. I hope they go down the more serious route.
I can't believe my brain's just thought of this.
Well, look, Charlie, I miss heavy drama matches. You know, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but the special guest referee match when Shawn Michaels was special guest referee, and then you had Triple H and The Undertaker. That match just felt like emotion and drama. And
Which
I
it was.
don't know if, I just hope this match sort of has the same sort of feel to it. But with
I think
Seth
it
Rollins
will.
in these stupid outfits, I don't think I can take it seriously.
Oh, I think it's so funny.
I didn't know,
I love it.
He dresses seriously for this one.
He will. He'll be in a referee.
Yeah,
outfit.
not like jumpsuit.
Yeah, a bedazzled referee. jumpsuit.
Stuff.
I can't believe my brain's just thought of this. What's John Moxley doing these days?
There's no chance of that.
No?
No chance of that. No, because
My brain just went,
he's
but if
still
there
heavily
is
invested
someone,
in AEW very much.
because everyone
I mean,
fell for it. Think about it. Everyone fell for it when that Shield music hit at WrestleMania.
everyone. No, I was the same.
Oh, we were in the same room, man.
Bleep, yeah, bleep it out, Pete. But no,
that was the one of
me and you looked at each other, didn't we? We were like, no,
that
please.
was one of the greatest wrestling moments I've ever witnessed with my own eyes. And
What,
I'm
the
being
whole-
serious. The whole
the ma-
match.
Yeah, it was great.
But the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes, and I think we said this the night the day later. The last 10 minutes of that match, that was the equivalent of Infinity War,
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame for wrestling fans. That is what that was.
Yeah,
It just missed out on one thing, and it was Mr. 316. But we've
Yeah.
spoken about that.
And it's funny because he was scheduled to be in Undertaker's position, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Which is, just to think.
I
of
was
that
very
moment.
surprised that Undertaker. I know I'm going a bit to the side here. I was very surprised that Undertaker not that he agreed to do it, but that he agreed to do it with the music being the Undertaker music and not the American Badass, because he has said multiple times for that appearance that when he said goodbye to that character, and he made other appearances since, is that he is no longer doing that character. He's retired the hat, he's retired the coat, he's retired the gloves, he's retired that music. I'm pretty sure he said that. So I was really shocked that he came out to that. It worked. I think the only reason why he did it is because it worked for that moment.
Yeah.
But yet again, we come back to the ultimate question here. We were going to have a whole other subject this week.
Yeah, I might have to put it to next week.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to now. I think we're going to have to do it to the week later because we've spoken about some. But doesn't that prove that we spent nearly 2 weeks talking about SummerSlam and we still can't cut off the conversation for us to go on to something else? Don't you think that's something?
It is something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really proven the point that not only do they have they engaged the audiences, well, they've engaged us too, let's say. But it's genuinely at a point where we are sitting here nearly 55 minutes into this podcast and we still can't make a final decision on one of the matches. We're still sitting here. I'm still racking my brain on this.
Well, that's it now. All we have to do now is sit and enjoy it, and
Yeah.
we do have as well. We have a non-wrestling fan joining us to watch it, so it'll be
Yes, we
funny.
do. We do.
And
We'll
let's
talk about that
pray-
next week.
Well, let's pray she falls in love with it, hopefully, because I will just say this: she, at first, when she heard I was a big wrestling fan, annoyingly thought it was odd. But she didn't really know what it was, I guess. But now she's watched a tiny bit of AEW and saw an MJF and stuff, and she's like, it's kind of finding it entertaining. So we'll see.
See, we've nearly done it again. We've nearly done it again and nearly made it to an hour and a half podcast, guys. I don't know
That's
how
great.
we've done this. This is insane. 2 weeks on the trot, man. 2 weeks on the trot. And again, we're going into this just so people know that since we've changed the format, we're going into this every week now with just 1 or 2 subjects. And then we're just ad-libbing the whole thing. We no longer have notes. This is how we're rolling. I'm loving it, by the way.
Yeah,
and I really
Probably
hope the audience is as well, because I know at the beginning we were quite restricted. Like, we're going to do this, talk about that for 10 minutes, and then we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to
Yeah,
move on to this.
I think it just what was lacking is me and you have great conversations, and it just didn't feel
And we
like
never
our
really let them conversations become natural.
Yeah, and now this just feels a lot more natural.
Oh,
a lot more
100%.
than we normally talk.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm looking
Oh,
forward
so
to
am
it.
I. I do still love one of the best jokes I ever came. I'm going to finish it here. I still think one of the best jokes I've ever come up with for that whole AEW thing last year was the fact that they called one pay-per-view All In, the next one All Out. And the first day that they announced it was going to be called All Out, I just put, coming October, shake it all about.
All in, all out.
Shake it all about. We're
Oh,
doing
and
something.
by the way, Charlie, I implore you to watch. It's recently been on Blood and Guts, AEW Blood and Guts.
I need to watch that. Yeah.
No, honestly.
Oh, one other
and-
thing I wanted to add really quickly before we finish. Very interesting. Fact of the week. Here you go. Fact of the week. Fact of the week. This is the first time in history that both of Dusty Rhodes' boys have held a championship belt. Ever. Cody is holding the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, and Dustin is holding the TNT Championship after Blood and Guts. I could be wrong in the title, but he is definitely holding a belt at the moment. And it is the
Yeah.
first time in history that both of Dusty Rhodes' children are holding a wrestling belt. It's never, ever, ain't no other point in time has that happened. That you've got two Rhodes holding a title.
Yeah.
Come on, that's cool. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for listening yet
Thank you.
again. Thank you so much for watching yet again. Next week, we will be back with, well, the aftermath, let's be honest, of what will be an epic SummerSlam. Woo! Yeah! Gotta do my Randy Savage because I'm so excited for SummerSlam. Oh, yeah!
And for me, Liv Morgan is hot.
Oh, for God's sake, I was really hoping you were going to do something like,
I'll give you a.
oh, cut
It's
that out,
clobbering-
Pete. Cut that out, Pete.
It's clobbering time. It's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time. Boys and
Definitely.
girls, thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week.